Day 3. So I've spent the last 2 days, 200 miles away from home, exploring and fishing the south shore of Long Island. And this is the last morning waking up in the cab of my truck. And once we step outside this door here, we'll be embarking on the most intense end of this mini trip so far. All right, so T-minus 1 hour here. We're finally walking down to the water's edge. Just the joys of trying to make content for you guys. A couple weeks ago, I actually lost my drone in the Raritan Bay, so it took a while to get that thing activated and all up and running, but here we are, kitted to the teeth, walking down to Surfcast at the surfcasting capital of the world. So as you can see behind me right there, that is the Montauk Lighthouse, and we are here on Long Island, New York's easternmost point. This spot here is a legendary spot for surfcasters, for big striped bass, big bluefish. This spot here is no joke, hence the wetsuit I'm wearing underneath all these clothes over here. The weather's nice enough, I probably could have just fished in the wetsuit without the extra gear here, but I have to carry my batteries and keys and phone and tripod and all those fun things, so it makes it easier to just throw on the Stormer. Besides that, we're keeping it very simple today. Just brought the plug bag out here, our rod and tripod, and we're walking on the south shore of the point right now, which is typically an incoming tide spot, which is what we're gonna fish. So kid next to me is already hooked up. There you go. So I've only ever fished here once before, and that was 9 months ago in the dog days of summer here at the end of August, and I had zilch luck. But currently we're here in the beginning of June, which isn't the best it gets, but there definitely should be some fish around, and conditions are absolutely beautiful. Right now there's actually some Canadian wildfires that have really kind of smoked up the entire atmosphere here, which should be good to keep in those low light conditions lasting a little longer throughout the day. Obviously I would have loved to get out here a little bit earlier, but still getting a great start out here. It's around 6 o'clock right now, and we've really got nothing to do all day except fish. So the game plan for right now is to wade, maybe swim out to that rock out there. You saw I threw on the wetsuit, so I'm pretty water resistant. Gonna be pretty warm throughout the day, actually sweating my balls off right now as we're wearing 5 millimeters of neoprene. So let's get out there, let's catch some fish today, baby. Whew. All right, so we got corkers, we got all the necessary equipment to get out here, but this is not easy. While we may be warm, we're definitely not gonna be dry out here. Ooh. This is probably as far as I'm gonna go. There's waves breaking right there on that point, and I don't feel like getting thrown off right now. I got washed off a couple of times when I was fishing here last year, and that tide's only gonna come in anyway. So we've got about 3 hours till high tide here, and then we'll have to switch up our locations for the outgoing. But for now, this is where we're gonna start our fishing set of the day. Probably just gonna continue walking west throughout the morning, but already seeing a bunch of birds work out there. There's a lot of boats pushing in close. Let's give it our first cast of the day here in the surf casting capital of the country. Starting off with a 2 3/4 ounce Super Strike, little bottleneck popper here. Fishing this on our VR 150. Definitely need a waterproof reel while fishing out here, and paired up on our 11-foot Tsunami Airwave Elite. So here goes the first cast. Absolutely nukes out there. All right, no love on top here. Don't really know why, but let's switch this guy out. Try something a little more finesse here. Little X-wrap right there, 1 1/4 ounce. Try to fish it near these rocks here. See if there's anybody in close. All right, let's go try to fish somewhere a little more west. No life here, surprisingly. All right, that's our next rock there. Whew. Can't even get up there. All right, that was legit right there. All right, that wasn't easy. Let's get them now. Oh, that was a fish. There he is. There he is. There he is. We're on. A lot of rocks out there. Gotta be careful. Oh, bluefish. All right. It's the first fish I've ever caught off structure like this here on the rocks. So it's gonna be quite interesting to see how we handle this guy, if we can get him in. Gotta be careful he doesn't get near any rocks. There's a lot of things that could break us off here. Man, beautiful fish, especially in this turquoise water here. Yeah, not a bad fish at all. Not a bad fish at all. All right, this is probably our best spot to land anything here. There we go. Oh, there he goes, pops off right there. That's probably the best release. Fishing with these Rapala single hooks here, so should make it a little easier to de-hook a couple fish if we catch them. But there we go. Little bluefish right out there. I was just about to remark, I'm surprised we haven't gotten bit yet, but I figured make one more cast before I said anything. I can see a little bit of a ripple on top of the water there where there's some taller rocks, and that's exactly where that guy hit. First fish of the day, quick little catch and release there on the X-wrap. All right, so our only catch on that rock out there was just a little racer bluefish. Our first fish of the day, so still stoked we were able to get on a bite there, but really just a slow start to the morning here. We only have an hour, 90 minutes left of incoming tide, so I'm gonna try to cover as much water as I can. I'm gonna take a bit of a hike here out west and see if those western rocks will hold on a little more fish. Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh yeah. Oh, we're swimming now. All right, just had to swim a little bit. We made it. Never had to do that before. Swim out to the spot. All right, hope there's some fish here. There's birds working heavily out there, maybe 500 yards or so. Hopefully whatever it is pushes in. All right, so we just spent the last hour and a half on that rock right there, and I had maybe 2 scratches that were probably rocks. It doesn't seem worthwhile to go any more west. We really have not gotten on any bite at all since we started moving west, so I think I'm actually gonna head east to the eastern side of the lighthouse and see if we can catch the last hour of the outgoing there and maybe catch a fish too. So time to walk, although I much rather walk than swim. This morning when I said this was gonna be our most intense send yet, I didn't mean we were gonna have to grind the hardest to catch fish. I meant we were gonna probably catch the most fish, but the surf casting capital of the world has not been kind to me thus far. I have one measly bluefish to show for my 4 hours of efforts this morning. I just got out of my car where I've spent the last hour taking a well-needed nap, but here we are on the North Shore, and this is where we're gonna try to find a bite on the outgoing tide. I've never fished the North Shore over here. I've heard it can be pretty good. Only one way to find out. All right, this spot looks about as good as any to start at here. That tide really churned up all this near shore water. But it is way calmer on this side compared to the South Shore. Don't really have to worry about waves knocking me off these rocks here. Oh, expectations are not too high after the day we've had so far, but let's give it a couple casts. Definitely gonna start off with some top water here. Just the most fun. First cast, I freaking hooked the cormorant. Oh, just popped off. Hell yeah, dude. All right, well, that was not what we were looking for. All right, this stuff down here looking a little bit better. Water looking a little bit cleaner. Definitely an interesting spot over here. Oh, there he is. There we go. Woo! Yeah, buddy. All right. Oh, he pulled. Pull off. Double trebles pulled. Oh, he's on again. He chased it down. Oh, look at that. That's something there. I don't know if it's the same one. I doubt it. Damn. All right. First fish in 8 hours. I gotta show this one off. All right. 8 hours of Montauk. First landed fish is a little 6-7 pound bluefish right there. Hopefully there's some more and some bigger ones out there. All right, send them back out. There he goes. Sweet. Exhausted is definitely an understatement. Not just from fishing today, fishing the last 3 days very hard. I am just absolutely beat, and I expected a way hotter bite coming out here today, but sometimes the fish just don't want to cooperate. Looks like we finally found a couple fish over here though. The guy next to me had a couple hits too and caught that bad boy in a plug I've never ever thrown except for today. Bought this guy up in the canal last year. So cool to see they're hungry on top. Let's put our rod tip back on first. Should I just throw my my reel on there? No, never fished a bailless before. You never fished a bailless before? No. Are you serious? Serious. If you want to. Yeah, I don't want to mess up your system there, or I don't even know how to do it. I might lose my plug. You want to throw up? You go ahead. My grandparents, God bless them, built a house in Montauk in the 1940s. Wow. So that's legendary right there. This is all I've known.
And when someone finally told me that they were actually fishing New Jersey, I went, really? There are? No one's ever fished New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't fish Jersey.
Yeah. That's all I gotta fish. So I appreciate you helping me out a lot. I mean, again, I would have fished this, but I don't really feel like losing more plugs. Sweet. Wow, really light.
I've seen guys like, oh no, I'll just fish it like that. And 2 casts later, they go back. They don't realize it wrapped around that portion, and you hear bing. I'm like,
Yeah, no. This feels dangerous right here.
It is. It is actually dangerous.
All right, thanks again for letting me use your rod, man. Let's catch some fish on it now. Here we go. That gets them in a bite.
Dude, show that it worked.
Yeah.
You like you call a bluefish a pansy ass?
They like being talked down to.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is!
Nice job.
Instant. I gave it 2 pops, he was on.
Good.
So I went back to the same plug I caught the first one on. First cast back. Good, good, good. Oh, big one.
Yep.
No, oh, I definitely am doing that. All right, on Matt's rod, we got a nice bluefish.
Nice. That's not nice. That's a fucking shark.
Yeah. Seeing that mouth when he came up with it?
Yeah, welcome to Montauk, baby.
Woo! Oh yeah.
That's officially a Montauk hammer right there.
Yep. All right, a much nicer bluefish than the first one there. Gnarly guy. Probably a nice, I don't know, 12, 14 pound fish there. Send her back. All right, big girl. Oh, oh, wrong way, wrong way. There we go. There she goes. Awesome. All right, well, there we go. Second bite, second fish of the day. That was a definitely an upgrade to our previous bluefish. That marks 3 bluefish so far on the day. Huge shout out to Matt, the guy I'm fishing next to. So the last fish, I was bringing him to shore, and unfortunately I just got a recent tip replacement, so I guess it wasn't 100%. The tip of my rod snapped off, so I was pretty much left with a tipless rod. Matt saw I was in trouble, and he said, hey, I got an extra rod if you want to use it. So I'm fishing his custom 11-foot Montauk special here. So huge shout out to Matt. All credit of that fish goes to Matt out there. But yeah, let's get back out there and keep catching some fish, hopefully. You. Oh, there he is. Cheater.
Pumpkin eater.
Cheater.
I got cheater.
There, yeah, there you go. All right, shout out Matt. He's got his first fish of the day. Little cocktail blue there, perfect eating size. Awesome.
So there you go.
Thank you, Matt. All right, Matt. Thank you. All right. Toy lines this spring, summer.
Oh, I'm hoping.
Maybe I'll see you out here again, but if not, I'll catch you next year. See you, man. Well, as it turns out, even the best fishing spots can have slow fishing. So not the day I hoped for here in Montauk. As we head west, back home at 6 p.m. here. So gave it about 12 hours of fishing. Thankfully, we avoided the skunk with a couple scattered bluefish there throughout the day. Had one on the south side in the morning that kind of hit out of nowhere, and then had 2 more bluefish sprinkled in the afternoon after I decided to hit the northeast shore. So honestly, fishing new locations, especially out here on Long Island, is always just a blast for me. The scenery is just something in and of itself, especially in Montauk. I mean, really is such a beautiful location. You got the rocks, the beautiful water, the lighthouse, the cliffs. I mean, it really is a very picturesque environment to try to catch some fish. And honestly, at a location like this, the fish are just a bonus. But yeah, that's gonna be a wrap for this video here, folks. That's gonna be a wrap for this Long Island trip. We've got a long 6-hour drive back home right now. I'm freaking tired. But legend of the day, huge shout out to Matt, the guy I shared the tide with there at the end. He not only hook us up with a couple Pepsis, but let me borrow his rod. And even there at the end of the day, he gave me a special darter that told me catches megas. So I promise we'll get a fish on that North Bar darter. But with that being said, folks, this is already becoming a way longer rant than I wanted it to be. I'm gonna sign out for this video. I will catch you guys back in the Garden State in the next video. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. Definitely a change of pace from the Jersey fishing sends I've been going on recently. And I would definitely mark this trip overall as a success. I had a great time exploring Long Island here, meeting cool people, catching some cool fish sometimes too. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Never understand. You.